All right, let's get right into it. We're about to step into the ring for a high-stakes physics showdown. In one corner, you've got the strategist, who's all about that deep, slow, fundamental understanding. And in the other corner, you have the optimizer, a master of tools, shortcuts, and pure efficiency. Believe me, this is way more than just about passing a class. This is about forging a mental weapon you can use for pretty much anything.
So, welcome to the front lines. What you're looking at is an online homework portal from the Colorado School of Mines. And you see those little green check marks? Yeah, that's it. That's all that matters. You are either 100% right or you are 100% wrong. There is zero in between. And in an unforgiving world like this one, how you actually get to that check mark? Well, that's a matter of some pretty intense debate.
This is what we call the adrenaline of error. Seriously, every single problem is a high-wire act. You misplace one little negative sign, you forget to convert a unit, and boom, hours of your work just disappear into a big fat zero. The pressure is just immense, and it forces every student to make a really critical choice. And that, right there, is the big question we're tackling today. How do you survive this? Do you lean in and embrace the grind to build a foundation that is absolutely unshakable? Or do you find the ultimate shortcut and just beat the system at its own game?
Okay, so let's meet our two fighters. First up, the optimizer. This is a student forged in the fires of weekly deadlines. Their entire world revolves around getting that green checkmark. Their method? It's all fast brain intuition, armed to the teeth with AI and automation. The philosophy is simple: work smarter. And then we have the strategist. This is the tutor who's playing the long game. They're not chasing checkmarks, they're chasing intellectual mastery. The method is slow, it's pen, paper, and making a lot of mistakes to learn from them. Their philosophy: fail better.
And this slide right here just perfectly illustrates their core conflict. On the left, you've got the optimizer's world. It's a clean, slick interface promising instant answers. I mean, why would you waste your time on boring arithmetic when a machine can do it perfectly in a split second? But then, on the right, you have the strategist's battleground. It's messy, it's crossed out, and it's kind of beautiful. Every single line, every mistake, is a step towards real, genuine understanding.
You see, the strategist argues that the homework itself isn't the point. It's not the main event. The homework is the gym. It's where you're supposed to struggle. It's where you're supposed to fail. Every single error you make is a piece of data. It shows you exactly where your understanding is weak so you can fix it before you walk into the real test. But the optimizer pushes back, and they push back hard. They'd say something like, look, that's a really nice philosophy, but I've got 3 other problem sets due tomorrow. Training slowly might build character, sure, but it's not going to get you through the week. They'd argue the system is a machine, and that machine rewards 2 things: speed and correct answers. So why on earth wouldn't you use the best tools for the job?
So let's see how this whole thing plays out with a really central concept in physics: the conservation of energy. This, right here, is where these two philosophies just completely collide.
The strategist always starts here, with first principles. Before you even think about solving a problem, let's say it's a block sliding down a ramp, you have to define your universe. The block, that's your system. But gravity, friction, the ramp itself, all of that is the surroundings. Literally, everything in physics flows from getting this one initial setup right. Now, for the strategist, this isn't just some rule you memorize, it's this beautiful, abstract principle perfectly put by the great Richard Feynman. They see energy as this number in a giant cosmic ledger that always has to be balanced. And so, to solve a problem is to basically become an accountant for the entire universe. It's a philosophical journey.
And this way of thinking leads to these really deep questions, like what is a conservative force? Well, it's a force, like gravity, where the work it does only cares about the start and end points. It doesn't care about the path you took to get between them. And understanding that is what allows you to define potential energy, a super important line item in that cosmic ledger. This is the deep understanding the strategist lives for.
The optimizer looks at all of that and basically says, that's fascinating. You know what? I'll read about it over winter break. Right now, I have an exam on Wednesday. For them, this isn't about philosophy. It's about having a toolkit that can dismantle any problem thrown their way as fast as humanly possible. And man, what a toolkit it is. They're using AI for instant step-by-step walkthroughs whenever they get stuck. They're mastering the Pomodoro technique. That's 25 minutes of intense focus, then a 5-minute break, because it hacks your brain's ability to retain stuff. They're making many brain dumps for formulas, color-coding their notes. This is all about ruthless, tactical efficiency.
And the core philosophy here is actually really simple. Don't let your brain get bogged down doing something a machine can do better and faster. Automate all those low-level calculations. Why? Because that frees up your precious mental energy for the real task, which is figuring out which strategy, which formula is actually needed to attack the problem in the first place.
Which brings us to the final boss battle, the PHN 100 final exam at Minds. All the training, all the philosophy, all the hacks, it all comes down to this. This is the moment where our two competing strategies are put to the absolute ultimate test.
And here's the reality check, straight from the student who actually survived it. The advice isn't understand the deep nature of the universe. The advice is raw pattern recognition. Literally memorize the homework problems, memorize the clicker questions, memorize the examples from the lecture.
You know, this kind of throws a wrench in the whole debate, doesn't it? If the final exam, the thing that ultimately decides your grade, is really just a big test of memorization and pattern matching, then in a game that rewards patterns, hasn't the optimizer already won before the test even started?
It definitely looks that way. But maybe, just maybe, the question isn't about which side wins. What if the real victory, the true winning move, is to combine these two incredibly powerful approaches into something even better?
And here's that synthesis. Think of it like this. The strategist's deep understanding is your defense. It's what stops you from making a massive, catastrophic conceptual error when the pressure's on, the kind of mistake that no tool or shortcut can save you from. But the optimizer's toolkit, that's your offense. It gives you the raw speed and accuracy to execute flawlessly when that clock is ticking down. And this all builds into a really clear roadmap. Step 1. Embrace the error on your homework, just like the strategist says. Fail strategically to learn deeply. Step 2. Automate the arithmetic with the optimizer's toolkit. Crush it. Step 3. Conquer the exam by bringing both of those skills together. And finally, Step 4. You gotta realize this was never just about physics.
That right there is the real prize. Getting an A isn't the finish line. That class is just the whetstone, the thing that sharpens the blade. The real goal is to forge a mental framework for solving incredibly hard problems. These are the skills you're going to use to play the sovereign chess of life, of engineering, of finance. The grade is temporary. The framework you build is forever.
So, you've survived the gauntlet. You have beaten the boss battle. And now you have this incredibly powerful problem-solving engine. That engine is what's going to get you to your own personal Thailand, your real finish line. So the only question left is, where are you going to point it next?